And join the action on our show tables, Johnny Archer, the Scorpion, one of the most famous players ever to pick up a cue. Today against Wu Yi-Lun of Taipei. Johnny's got things well in hand, 5-1.
And I think, Jerry, if there's one American player who is hungry to win this event, it's Johnny Archer. He's been a world champion before, but has yet to win one in the matchroom era, and he's a favorite, a threat to win every single tournament he enters.
Johnny just can't seem to get in gear the last few years at the World Championship. Everywhere else he plays great. And he comes here and gets surprised every year. So he's due. Although I'm not sure what he's going to do with this. This is a tough situation here. Oh, he almost made that ball. He can't believe it didn't go in.
Kick combination rattles out.
Archer obviously disgusted with that result.
He must have thought it was dead. It was dead in.
He must have. The gentleman he is playing, by the way, is named Wu. This is not the same Wu who won the World Championship a couple of years ago. However, he does have something in common with that Wu. They have both won the World Junior Championship.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei has dominated that event over the last couple of years. You've had people like Wu and then also Xia Huikai, who have also won that event. And they just continue to produce young players every single year. And Jerry, does this guy shave?
I don't know. They say he's 18 years old. I think he would be. He would have his ID requested at any bar in the world.
I think he's gonna have to have that ID handy for the next 15 years. Looks like it.
But it's nice to be that young. You haven't learned that you can miss. And you don't have all those demons in your soul. A fresh attitude for the game. At this age, they love this game to death. They could play it all day long, and they do. And then another advantage of youth is focus. It's so much easier for a young person to maintain their focus throughout a match. They don't have to worry about where the next month's house payment's coming from or how the radiator on the car has gone out.
They just know that they're going to get their allowance next week.
Yeah. Well, if he does well here, his allowance will be considerable. And he narrows the gap just a hair. 5-2 now. Johnny Archer in front, but Wu will be breaking. Archer sits, awaits his next opportunity at the table. Johnny is, of course, known as the Scorpion. Now 38 years old is the Scorpion.
This is a group 15 matchup. It's a pretty strong group.
Train 2 racks to 5.
With 3 Chinese Taipei players. Chao Fengpang is also in this group, as is Michael Schmidt. And Li Kunfang was an alternate out of the qualifiers, and because of the withdrawal of Manan Chandra, he is in this group as well. So you could see 3 Chinese Taipei players theoretically making it out of this group.
Chao Fengpang, obviously a former world champion, won this event in Cardiff, Wales.
And I tell you, I was watching Chao Fengpang in the Asian Tour this year, and he is back in stroke. Cannot write him off.
Well, it's hard to ever write him off. Talk about a man that's dedicated to his game and serious. I don't think I've ever seen him crack a smile except when he won. That's why they call him the stone-faced killer.
Well, Wu has a difficult shot there, and looks like he's done the right thing. He's got an old head on his shoulders, has played a very nice containing safety.
Well, he's left Archer able to contact the ball. That would have been a better result had he married the cue ball up against the 9. Instead, Archer has plenty of room to work. It'll be a kick, but easy ball to hit. As Archer's pointing to the point on the rail where he wishes to strike the cue ball. And if he hits it there, he'll get a nice full ball hit. The cue ball will stop right down there on that end of the table, and the 2 ball will be sent up table, ideally into the middle of the rail or behind the 9.
So this is a relatively big ball for Archer because of the close proximity to the rail. I guess the hit is a foregone conclusion. It's just going to matter how well he covers up the 2 ball.
Yeah, the only mistake he can make is to hit this ball too thin so that the cue ball doesn't stop. But Archer doesn't fall for that and gets a pretty good result. A lot of distance.
I think we're going to get into a safety battle here, and when you have somebody like Johnny Archer against you, you don't want to get into a safety battle.
Now, it's difficult for us to really gauge the angles accurately here, but there may be a two-way shot if he banks the 2 ball back down toward the 6 and tries to hide the cue ball behind the 9. Not totally behind the 9, because then he wouldn't have a shot on the 5. No, there's really no advantage to doing that. There's no way to get a good shot on the 5. I think just a straight off safety is the best bet here. Oh, he could cut that ball. I had
9
no
ball.
idea.
9 ball. Wow. Well, that's another thing about being young. I mean, you've got such great eyesight. You can take those thin cuts on.
Well, he has another tough situation facing him right now. 5 ball blocked from the corner by the 6. If he can cut this one as thin as he did the last one, he could send it into the side pocket. Obviously, we're looking now at the 4 ball, which is the pink ball right in the middle of the table.
Yeah, this is a thin cut, but it's not any thinner than the shot he just took down.
No, it's not. He also has a pretty big pocket down there. He could play off the rail and off the 6 ball into the corner. But he takes the side pocket.
I guess there was no way for him to avoid hitting that 6, because it was in a pretty good spot already.
Now, if he banks the 6 back toward him, the cue ball goes over toward the 7, and then the 7 heads toward the 9 ball. So keep your eyes open on this shot. He has to concentrate on making that 6, however. He would not want to rely on the carom combination. Oh wow, he can cut these balls like mad. 7-9 coming up.
I guess you prefer the combination here to the carom.
Yeah, I do. I think it's a little more direct. And hit it with a firm speed. You can send the 7 back to the middle of the rail, which he doesn't need to do. And he's gone into the lead now. No, excuse me. He has not gone into the lead. He's brought it another mark closer. 5-3. Archer over Wu.
Great move.
Great year. After getting thumped 6-0 last week, have Manchester City recovered? Sven and his boys at home to Sunderland. Full highlights and reaction.
Also on Tuesday, SportsCenter, Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh take on Baltimore. Can you say defense?
Well, from the NBA, Dallas and Houston in a Texas showdown.
Plus Liverpool in a must-win Champions League game. Interviews, previews, it's all here.
SportsCenter, it's a must-view.
Something is happening on your TV, where secrets of different heroes, characters, and worlds collide. Once a week, you're invited to the mix. All you need is to have game. Every Wednesday on Star Sports.
So many differing means to predict scorelines. None as rational. With the help of betting and football experts pulling their brains together at Football Forecast on ESPN.
Can we get beer, please? Great move.
Great year.
Oh, back in Manila in a water park, sharing the water with the swan. Ooh. Let's stay away from that. Over and over the roller coaster goes. And we've got a bit of a roller coaster going on here as well. Woo coming back now, trailing only by 2 to Johnny Archer. And with his break, he has the opportunity to come within 1. Things may be getting a little nervous in the Archer chair there, Bob.
Wow.
Watch outside pocket. Ooh.
That was a howitzer of a break. There was some elevation with that cue ball after it hit the 1.
Tough opening shot. Makeable, but difficult. You cannot be looking at both the object ball and the pocket. We've seen these missed a lot this week, but this young man probably has the sharpest eyes in the arena. Watch out.
It was just the speed that kept that ball in. Any harder and that would have bobbled.
Well, given that he gets from the 2 to the 3, his work should be mostly done. I think he feels that the momentum has joined his side. He's going to have to make the cue ball do a little dance here. He doesn't have enough of an angle to get back over to the other side of the table for the 4 ball. He may have to pound this puppy. And we have seen these corner pockets spit out balls, hit into them with speed. They have a very severe professional cut to them. Boy, that one went right in. And look at this shot. Wu proving himself a man to be reckoned with. Archer knows it.
This young man is not putting a foot wrong. Or has he put one here? I don't think he's got an embarrassment of angle off this green 6.
Well, he can draw back if he doesn't hit the 8. I thought he might run forward 3 rails and take that with spin.
Looks like he just needs to be on the correct side here for the 8 to go back for the 9.
Yeah, if he can draw his cue ball back just to the side pocket or just beyond, he'll be in great shape. That's a little bit much.
Wow, now he's wrong side for the corner. But I guess he can still clip this into the side, but he's got to kill this ball.
Yeah, he's really got to check up that cue ball here or settle for a longer shot. Not a bad result. Well, Wu is marching back into this match now, keeping Archer seated. He only trails by 1, 5-4. And let's take a bit of a look here at Johnny Archer.
I picked up pool when I was 12 years old. I really enjoyed it. Picked up pool in the back room, and I've been playing ever since. Well, it's hard to deal with, no matter what, if you make mistakes. I don't know, I've had my wins and I've had my losses, so you kind of try to, you know you're not going to win all the time, so you try to kind of control it, control your emotions, and, I guess the older you get, you can handle it a little bit better. I really don't get angry at my opponent or anybody else, but I really get angry at myself if I make mistakes, so that's really what gets me upset. I'm not really that cool. I just try to control my emotions more than anything so I can play my best game. Sometimes I'm really not that calm and collected inside, which is okay because if it's only inside it's okay, but I can control it outside. To stay focused during a match is very difficult for me. The older I'm getting, I could tell it's harder for me to focus or to stay focused. So really what I have to do is relax. Don't get too ahead of myself. My opinion is the experience will overcome the luck over a period of time. Maybe not in one match, but over a period of time I think experience will overcome it. And if I had advice to the younger player, stay focused, work hard, don't let anybody get in your way. Keep your focus on what you want to achieve, and if you really work hard at it, you can do it.
A little more information about Johnny Archer. He and his beautiful wife Melanie welcomed a new child into the world this year. He's now the father of 2, a little boy and a brand new little girl.
In 4 acts to 5.
Archer's pretty happy with the world right now.
So there's going to be a WPBA champion in about 25 years, I would think.
Well, she'll certainly have a good coach.
Johnny Archer also a very good golfer, a .4 handicap golfer. I didn't know there was such a thing until he told me that a couple of years ago.
Well, these balls broke up into a very strange formation. Take a look at this. They're all wound up on the other end of the table.
You got to wonder what side of the table did he break from? What side were the balls on? But I think he'll take this.
He certainly will. The 2-ball just waiting for him. He's had some really good breakoffs. There's just nothing to stop him, Bob. He should cruise right through this rack and tie the match. And with this winter break format, there's nothing Archer can do but sit and watch. You have to wonder if it makes Johnny remember the days when he was this age.
Yeah, well, this is, you mentioned it, Jerry, this is where winner's break can be so cruel. I mean, you have here one of the best players who ever lived, and he hasn't sniffed the table in a couple of racks.
I love this boy's stroke. He's got a very solid stroke, nice fundamentals.
No, he hit that good.
Doesn't mind teasing that side pocket, does he? That a mark of confidence. It appears that he's going to go ahead and settle for a bit of a longer shot, unless he was just measuring the angle of the draw back toward the 9. Yeah. Doesn't mind a bit of distance. Archer not in the best of moods at the moment. There's a reason they call that the electric chair. And Wu has tied us up 5-5. Really climbing out of a hole and in charge of our match now because he's got the break. And man, he's been able to do something with that shot. Very clever player running rack after rack. We'll see how many he can put together. He's on 3 at the moment. Little drink of water to kill the adrenaline.
Just a reminder that this is a double elimination format in the group stage here at the 2007 World Pool Championship. So the loser here is still alive, but will have to duke it out with the other one-loss players in this group of 8. The winner of this match is going to play either Michael Schmidt or Lee Kun Fang in the second round.
Well, take a look for me and see if you can determine who the loser will play.
5-5.
Can you determine who the loser of this match might play? Is it on there?
I think it's probably still dependent on other results.
Okay. Well,
strong break.
Yes, but the one ball has not been friendly. The one ball, when it came off of the pack, it ran into the nose of the side pocket. And instead of winding up in a predictable position, it came back and is blocked from all but the side pocket. So look at a safety here.
I think we might see a roll up here. This cue ball is going to get real up close and personal with that 7, and that is vicious.
But all Johnny has to do is hit the one ball. It looks like the 1-2 combination may be dead on. I can bet you Archer's going to take a nice long look at this.
Yeah, but Wu, great speed control on the cue ball to snuggle up that cue ball with the 7. Big shot here for Johnny Archer. He's got to put down this combination. He hasn't had much of the table the last couple of racks.
Yeah, he's going to have to spin this ball, it would appear. It's not going to be a straight angle. As you can see, what he will be doing now is coming off of this rail and striking right into the one ball. He's laying his cue stick right down on that line.
He's going to put some right-hand English on this.
Yep. If he's successful, he'll be able to stay at the table. If not, oh, trouble city, because he'll be bringing Wu back to the table. And there are only 6 balls out there for Wu to clear. This is really a must-do shot.
This has the makings of a turning point shot here with match level at 5-all.
He's made it. That's why he's Johnny Archer. And he gets a big smile.
You know, Wu very unlucky there. He played a good safety and was so unfortunate to have that one ball line up just perfectly for Johnny on the green 6.
Very true, Bob.
But again, we've got that 5 in the Bermuda Triangle of the pool table there. That's just always difficult to pocket balls when you've got a table in between that 3rd diamond and the side pocket.
Yes, but all Johnny has to do is make it. The 7 ball's parked right by the other side pocket. He doesn't have to do anything fancy. He just has to concentrate on making this ball. Oh, and it's not on the rail. That makes it a lot easier.
You just want to drift this towards the 9 to get the right shape for the 8. Here's Johnny moving the balls in the pockets again. We've seen that before, Jerry.
That's an old habit. You'll see him move balls around into pockets that he's not playing into. You'll also see him picking the lint off the table. I think it's how he bleeds off energy. I can remember a few years ago his compatriot Earl Strickland used to clean the balls with a rag that he brought in his bag between the racks just to, I guess, bleed off some adrenaline.
Nice use of the draw stroke there. Johnny Archer in a good spot here to hold off Wu.
Has to hit this ball a little bit firmly, top right English.
That's got to hurry.
Wow, he checked that ball. He's left himself a lot more of a shot than he would have wished. There go the ball again. That must be a deep pocket over there. He's put about 7 balls in.
Well, these Metro tables really do have deep pockets.
So will the winner of this event. At least they'll need deep pockets to hold all that cash.
That's more correct.
Oh,
wow. What a miss.
That a bad one for Mr. Archer. And now Wu with an opportunity that he certainly did not expect. Archer knows he should be leading right now, 6-5. Instead, he's waiting for his opponent to take that score away from him.
You could practically see the steam coming out of Johnny's ears in that shot.
Well, as he said in the interview, he doesn't get mad at others, but he certainly gets mad at himself. And right now, that may be deserving. Archer giving one away. Wu leads 6-5.
Great move.
Great beer.
The football crazy fanaticism is fast spreading. It's so fun you won't mind being crazy. Nokia Football Crazy, it's getting extra crazy. Nokia Football Crazy is presented by Nokia. A top-class international meeting of more than 40 horses and riders in Brussels is the backdrop to this horse jumping competition. Don't miss the Audi Equestrian Masters on Star Sports. Every week, we ignite the thrills and spills of steering the most powerful race machines.
Dude, that was scary.
This is a show that is pumped with anything and everything that has an engine.
From F1 to A1, we've got super bikes and super cups coming your way.
So hitch a ride with us and our top-notch drivers. Any luck with? On Engine Block, only on Star Sports.
Can we get beer, please?
beer.
We'll see.
There's Fort San Pedro, historic venue in Cebu, the city on the south of the Philippines. You saw there a painting of the famous battle between Magellan and Lapu-Lapu. And we've got another battle taking place here. Wu Yulin is leading Johnny Archer.
Here's another look at this shot. Nope. We thought it might have skidded on him, but he hit the ball thin, not thick, so there was no skid involved. He just missed.
Yeah, a skid. I guess snooker players call a skid a kick, where the balls stay together for a split second, kind of cling together, and usually results in a thick hit. But that is not a slide or a skid or a kick. That's just an overcut there by Archer, and Wu feasting on it. Now he's got a chance to put a lot of pressure onto the former world champion.
Well, we've seen before that he has the ability to totally dominate the table and keep Archer in his chair. If he repeats the performance he had before, Archer will not be rising.
And this looks ominous here for Wu, because he has a shot on the 1. I think it passes in between the 3 and that pocket on the left upper corner of the table.
Well, if it does, the 2 ball is certainly waiting for him. All he has to do is make the shot, Bob.
That passes, I think, slowly in off that rail. It'll go down.
Yeah, all he has to do is hit it with pocket speed. Doesn't need to do anything fancy here. Table's waiting, this man. Archer knows it.
And you know, this is the thing about winner's break pool. In alternate break, Archer makes that mistake. He knows that at least 2 racks later he's going to get back on the table. But this is winner's break 9 ball. Archer must be wondering, how much will I be punished for that mistake? I could stay in my seat for the next 4 or 5 racks.
Well, you used the right term there, punished. In winter break, you get punished for your mistakes. Cue ball has to travel here. Well, I don't see anything to stop him, Bob, do you?
Nothing short of a typhoon or something, or a earthquake. Bit straight on this ball.
Yes, but all he has to do is roll forward a couple of inches and he'll be right on the 6 ball. Oh, he's going to draw back and play the 6 on the side? Well, whatever you prefer. It certainly gives him an easier shape shot on the 7.
He'll have to play the 7 upstairs, though. He needs to have angle on the 7.
Anything but straight in will do.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay.
I think he's got enough.
He can bang this.
Completely emotionless on the outside. They obviously model their game after that of our good friend Chow.
And you know, technically they're so sound. I mean, in the Philippines, you have a lot of the players. There's a great variance in styles. Well, Georgina had a word with Johnny Archer. We'll be getting to that later. 8 ball for Wu. And you know, if you're Johnny, you're kind of panicking a bit here because Wu is just 2 racks away.
Yeah, Johnny has to really be hoping on this break shot that Wu gets unlucky and winds up without a shot on the 1. But you can see it's desperation time for Archer.
Georgina had a couple of words for Georgina. Let's see what he had to say.
Well, here's Johnny Archer, the Scorpion. Now, for most players who are starting only today, day 4, it's a chance for them to recover from jet lag. But you came a little bit later, didn't you?
Well, you know, to come across the world, I think to really take care of your jet lag, you need here at least a week. So I can't do that. So I said, well, you know, why not just come here a couple days before?
Okay. So how are you feeling now? It's your first match of the tournament.
I feel pretty good. I came in yesterday and got some pretty good practice in. So I practiced pretty good and come in today practice. So yeah, I mean, it's all, you know, another match.
All right. Well, we'll see you in your match soon. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
Archer, once again, stuck in the chair. And Wu will be coming up for another break shot that he's shown excellent skill at completing successfully.
13, excuse me, Wu into break, leading 7 racks to 5.
You know, yesterday in the match between Earl Strickland and Lee Hae-Wen, Earl sprinted, or rather Lee Hae-Wen sprinted to a 5-0 lead, and then Archer, or rather Strickland, stormed back with 9 racks on the trot. I think this is a case of deja vu here. Very similar circumstances, and wow, this rack has opened up.
Well, Johnny has to know that this is not good for him, the way these balls came out. There's no clusters. There's just no problems here. He has to rely on Wu making a careless error, and Wu hasn't shown us any.
Yeah, this could be the hardest shot in this rack right here. Got to go around 2 rails to take the 4 into the same pocket. He'll need good speed. Doesn't want a lot of angle on the 4.
Whoops, he ran into the 7. That'll slow the cue ball down. But he still gets there. I mean, it's a tough shot. Not as easy as he would have had, but it's there.
Yeah, but if he hadn't hit this 7, I think he might have overrun the shot here. But I'm sure Wu did not want to go back and forth here on this 4 to the 5. He may have to.
If he does, he has to take the side pockets out of the equation. Needs a little speed. He's gotten there. Now, what he is surveying here, the 5 ball is almost automatic. It's getting the proper shape on the 6 ball so that it can move down table for the 8.
I think he just wants to be cue ball parallel to that head string, I think.
That would be nice.
Okay. Did he get there? Yes, he did. This kid knows his patterns, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Well, you know, they have classes on pocket billiards available to students in Taipei. And it's a part of their Olympic efforts. So they have funding from the government to help in training. They do have training centers in which they can work with excellent coaches.
In the Philippines, the students also play pool, but after classes.
There is the mentor, Fong Pang Chow. Boy, oh boy. Wu about to climb up on top of the hill. And the way he's been playing, there is no reason to expect that the next break shot won't prove fruitful.
Another break and run out for Wu. And Archer has to wonder whether he'll get back on the table, because this young man, Wu Ju-Lun, completely in control of things. 3 break and run outs in the last 4 racks.
Big job ahead for Johnny Archer. Job 1 is just to get to the table. And there's our current and defending champion, Ronnie Alcano. Looking forward to his upcoming matches. He says he's playing very, very well, feels good about himself. There, of course, Fong Pang Chow. And a worried man.
Well,
Rack 14.
He can
We will into break, leading 8 racks to 5.
he can console himself with the fact that he has a second chance in the losers bracket. Just needs to win 2 games in the losers bracket, and he still qualifies for the round of 64.
Not the way you want to start your day, however.
Well, he can also take consolation in the fact that Earl Strickland and Efren Reyes both lost their first matches, but still made it.
Well, he nearly lost this game on the break shot. The 9 ball got kicked right toward the corner pocket, just half an inch off from victory. Long shot on the 1 ball. 2 ball back up in the middle of the head string on the other end of the table.
I think he needs to get that right angle here.
Yeah, this is definitely the toughest shot he will face in this rack. Not making the 1, but getting position on the 2. Oh no, wow. You could see him drop his hand there. He hit that ball much too thick. His English never had a chance to take.
There wasn't any English.
No, there wasn't. But
bizarre.
He really killed that ball.
He needed to put some right-hand spin on that thing.
He certainly did. So, Young Woo makes an error, which will spark hope in the heart of Archer.
That goes down as an unforced error. But look at this safety shot. Is he behind the 7? Not quite.
Archer has a chance.
Oh, but the 2 is rolled up against the 7. No, but I think the 2 might still pass.
I think it does.
Last chance saloon here for Johnny Archer.
Johnny taking a good long look at this as Wu returns to his chair, shakes his head. I don't think Johnny likes it.
That 7 might be taking more out of the cue ball than we thought.
It may indeed. He's certainly not eager to attack this one. Looking to see if there's any possibility that the 2 would drive the 4 into the 9. That's not likely. What he was just looking at there was the possibility that if he were to strike this 2 ball, that the 4 would come down and make the 9. But it's just not on. So instead, he's going to have to drive the 2 into this pocket, a long way away from where he is. And he's going to carry him into that 4 with the cue ball. Unless, oh, he's going to dig down. This makes it even tougher. He's trying to avoid the collision on the 4.
I think he went for the carry him onto the 4 into the pocket.
And he appears that he thinks just nothing's going his way, and right now it's not. Couldn't even get a good roll out of this as the 2 ball sets up in front of the corner pocket.
And Archer must be sick to his stomach now. He was 5-1, and then it all fell apart for him.
Well, once again,
yeah,
Wu having trouble getting any kind of action on the cue ball. I have to wonder if maybe the excitement has gotten his grip too tight and he's killing the action on the cue stick.
Gotta release that cue. Let the cue go forward on its own, by its own accord. And perhaps the moment just a little bit too much for Wu. And he's got to get right side on the 7. He needs to make the cue ball move here. He wants that cue ball ideally to be up on the top side of the table.
Yeah, but I think that's asking too much. He needs to just allow this cue ball to to come right back into here and take the longer shot. Yep. Instead, he tried to go the 3-rail route, and he's going to pay the price now. I'm telling you, he better not think that Archer can't come back. Archer has the ability to dig deep.
And again, that ball did not really have the English on it. You could tell by the way the red dots were moving. And this is a rack that you like Archer to take.
Yes, you do. Taking his time, grabbing a little powder to keep the moisture off of his cue.
And this Archer just about the last player you want to protect an 8-5 lead in race to 9 winner's break against.
Yeah, Johnny's famous for his break shot.
And he doesn't pussyfoot around with a soft break, does he?
Not often. Only when it's absolutely required. He likes hitting them. But Johnny's quite capable of adapting to the situation. He'll do what's needed. You know, he's got to feel great inside right now. He never expected to get out of his chair again. Well, Wu now has to sit and think about what could have been. He could have been walking out of the arena by now with a winner. Instead, he's let one of the greatest players of all time get back into the match. Archer drops the 9-ball.
Rack 15.
Right now,
6 racks to 8.
Archer has a chance, but he's trailing 6 games to 8 to Wu Yulin, who has really shown his stuff here.
Up until that last rack.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of crumbled on us there.
Nice and quiet, please.
Yeah, we'll see if Archer can put together a couple of racks.
Archer really is a southern gentleman, isn't he? He said, "Thanks, Nigel," when Nigel quieted the crowd down. That's class.
Born and raised in the South, now resides in Ackworth, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, where he is frequently seen on the golf course.
Oh, he's so unlucky here that one guy... Those balls were just bumping into each other.
Well,
all the way there to the rail.
They certainly were. Now, he can come off that 1 ball and make the 3.
Look at this. Collision there, another one, 2, 3.
By the way, you may not know this. Archer this year has opened a pool room with Kim Davenport. So he's now a businessman.
I'm sure that is doing well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
And Kim Davenport, yes, he's had problems with his eyes after that accident, but the last time I saw him US Open, he was playing pretty darn well.
He really does. It's quite a handicap what he has now. He was at a driving range and drove a ball, and it hit a piece of machinery and came right back into his eye. And the doctors, when they examined him, said they could see the dimple of the ball on his eye.
Wow.
But he's had a few surgeries and doing better now. And right now, I'm sure he's cheering on his business partner. Archer is not at all concerned about making the 3. He knows he can do that. It's the path of the 1 ball with which he must be concerned. As you can see, he's going to be striking this 1 ball here. What he needs it to do is come back out around center table so he'll have a shot. Now, a player as great as Archer has developed another plan. That's better than the idea I had. He can just play it straight across into the into the corner pocket.
Yeah, the only problem here is that the cue ball will strike the 5 after it hits the 1. He's got to manage that collision.
Yeah, the real problem that Johnny has here is not the 1 ball. It's this 2 ball right here. He has got to get up table to get a shot on that 2.
Turn that off, please.
Taking his time, getting a drink of Coke.
Waiting for all the,
or I should say
cell
soda. Well, I don't know what's in that cup.
Waiting for all the cell phones to stop ringing.
Do be certain to visit us at ESPNstar.com. Give you all the latest sports updates. You can learn just about anything on your favorite sport there.
Okay.
That'll work.
Shot, yeah. And he wanted the 5 ball to behave, and it has. Hasn't gotten in any other ball's way.
Great shot there from Archer. He knew the cue ball was going to lose its speed with the secondary collision. So he's taking what the table gives him. Longer shot on the 2. But given that he gets this 2 ball to disappear, the rest of the table opens up to a pretty easy run out. Urging the cue ball across the table. He's not happy with this.
Too much angle, I think.
Yeah, too much angle. You need to be able to draw in a fairly straight line up the table. As it is now, when the cue ball comes off of the 4 ball, it'll hit the rail and be sent over, with the danger being that the 6 ball blocks Johnny from the 5. Follow all that? Once again, shuffling balls. He can't really afford to go 3 rails because the 7 balls in his way.
Big shot here in this rack. Looks like he's cueing that one high. He might want to chances with the 3 rail shot.
He is.
No, he's played that good. He's taken another option that neither of us thought of. He's going to take the 5 into the opposite corner pocket. That's good, smart thinking there. That's what the golfers call course management.
It's what Wu calls trouble. No reason now for Johnny not to draw within 1.
Here's the shot of Johnny. He's got a finished cut.
Little 3 rail action for Johnny to get in line for the 7.
This is just a follow shot, isn't it?
It is.
With a tracer right-hand spin.
It is indeed. Straight down the table with the cue ball. A little bit of right English, as my friend Bob mentioned. We'll check the cue ball off the rail and send it right back up for the 9.
You know what? I think right now it's advantage Johnny Archer.
Of course it is. Absolutely. Especially since he knows his opponent looked terrified.
Yeah.
In his last few shots at the table. Johnny Archer having another day at the office. He's up now within 1 of Wu. Trails 8-7. But it's his break. There's confirmation of our score. Archer trailing by 1. But it's his turn at the table. He can maintain control. There's his good friend of his, Jeremy Jones, alongside Rob Saez. Two of the American contingent who are no longer in competition, but with Johnny.
Rack 16, Johnny Archer to break, trailing 7 racks to 8.
A most important break here. If Archer gets a shot on the lowest numbered ball, watch out, Wu. The only thing that could stop him here would be a snooker, or of course a drop break.
And he doesn't get very many dry breaks when he breaks.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, he does not use a loop bridge when he breaks here off the side of the table.
No, in fact, sometimes he'll send his cue stick straight up in the air after the break.
Usually players from here, they either use a loop bridge or they use a rail bridge, and he's using neither of them. He's using a V bridge.
One ball goes in the side. Where does the 2 ball set up?
Oh, this is not going to be good for him.
Well, it's not good offensively, but he's got a great safety opportunity. Yeah, this ball's rolled a bit cruelly. Nevertheless, he knows his opponent is nervous.
So what's the safety play here?
I will put the 2 ball up behind the 8 and the cue ball behind the 3.
If he can see enough of the 2 ball.
I'm sure he can spin it. Well, I'm not sure because we've been fooled by these angles before. But if he can take this 2 ball and lay it right here behind the 8 and have the cue ball come off right up here behind the 3, he'll be in good shape.
And this is not a time when Johnny Archer is going to rush. He's putting out his extension.
Well, that does change the complexion of the shot. That extension adds weight to the cue. And a lot of players tend to overrun their shot. Now, he's going to go to the other side of the 2, so he's going to do the opposite of what I said. He'll try to hide the cue ball behind the 8.
No, he didn't get there.
He sure didn't.
Wow.
Wu has the opportunity now to win this match. Here you see it. He just didn't get enough of that 2 ball.
And he knew it as soon as he hit it.
Sure he did. He's muttering to himself about it right now, having a little talk with Johnny.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. This is a tough hit. At least from here, it appears that Johnny's going to have to go down toward the head rail, as you see, and come all the way back down the table for the 2 ball hit. And then there's nothing down there much to hide behind.
The only thing that Johnny likes about this situation is that even with ball in hand, it's not an automatic out for Wu.
If he had any space between that 3 ball and the cue ball at all, I would almost expect him to tie the 3 up against the 8 and take the foul. Make the table tougher. But there must not be. He's looking for some place to send these balls for a hide.
Wow, this is tough.
This is real tough. He's got to worry about fouling the 3 ball as he strokes. He's got no place to stand.
If he could, he'd probably get his friend Rodney Morris to hit the shot. Because Rodney's a left-hander.
Gonna walk back to his corner, grab some more of that powder. You have to imagine that this is a tense, sweaty situation. We're going to show you some results here on the bottom of your screen. Stepping off, taking down Carvajal. Holtz wins. Oh, Fayen lost to Gomez. No shame in that. Gomez a great player.
Gomez is a qualifier and a very, very fine young player from the Philippines.
Watch that 6 ball. If he touches it with his pants, it's a foul.
There's no way to get at this ball from the other. Shooting to that right corner, top right corner, is there? I guess not.
No way that Johnny likes.
No.
And he has fouled.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
You were writing?
He said he hit that with the right English to try and check it. I guess it's so hard to get the spin when you're bending over like that.
Boy, that ball did come off that rail long. As you can see, and then it almost massaged its way down the table.
This is the big shot in the rack, I would think. Needs to land sweetly on the red 3. And it has. Wu had a bite at the cherry a couple of racks ago, was unable to get out. He's got to take full advantage of this layout now.
Well, the key for him, since he knows that the nerves are eating on him, is to take the simplest possible path. No time for trick shots. This looks extremely doable, Bob.
I guess he just wants to get straight on the 6. Straightish on the 6. Does not want a big angle on the 6. That's the most important thing in this rack. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure he has to like that. He overdrew that ball.
Now he needs to draw this as he takes this 5 ball down to the center pocket. He'll need to draw this near the 8.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. He's got to draw over in this direction.
There's a pocket there and an 8 ball there as well. So, wow. Some drama left in this match.
He may consider going down table and playing the 6 back up into the corner pocket over which he's now firing. Nope, he went for the draw.
Great shot. Great shot, Jerry. Under a lot of pressure.
And he sees a... Nope, no, he was asking the referee just to move a fly that came into the arena.
Oh, this is a big scalp here for Wu.
Just has to hold it together for 2 more shots.
Oh, he's giving himself. I thought he was going to draw that more and get straighter on the 9, but still like his chances here.
Archer knows it's over. There it is. The young sensation Wu has defeated one of the giants of the game, Johnny Archer, going down in flames.
This is one of the poorer matches we've seen played on this table.
You know what this is like? This is like watching Bob Guerrero and me going around the table.
I've never seen that. Yeah, one of our fellow commentators, Bob Guerrero, Manila native.
Yes.
He loves to play pool. I always play pool with him. Every time I come here, when we get a night off, I go and play pool with him. Referee Dave Merrill taking a good long look at this rack. I'm convinced that Shane is going to have to break these balls harder. He doesn't seem to want to. Because even though he's making a ball on the break, the racks are tied up.
Why would that be, Jay? So Shane sticks to the same style.
I didn't hear anything go down.
So his first dry break of the match, nothing going right.
It's like we got the 2 ball down here on the end rail. If Shane can find a way, I mean the 1 ball is not a hard shot. I mean he's very close to it. If he can find a way to get back on that 2 ball, these balls are pretty wide open. You see how they're all in a row there? That's good. That's not a bad jam there, because you get behind 1 ball and you can just keep playing position on the next one. This is the hard shot right here to get position from the 1 to the 2. That's the key shot for him. He'd like to get a rack right now. He'd love to get to the hill. Put that distant memory of that easy 8-ball that he missed out of his mind.
Well, it hasn't been easy for Chang either. I don't think he's played particularly well, but at least he hasn't played horribly.
He's got to put a big stroke on this ball to bring the cue ball back down table for the 2.
Dumps the 1, and
he's not going to get there. He's going to get tied up. No, didn't quite make it. In fact, I don't even know if he could see the 2. He's going to probably have to kick off the side rail into the 2. Yeah, he'll have to kick into the 2 and try to play safe.
It's almost like, Jay, both these guys are a little bit out of their depth.
Well, they're struggling. They're struggling. Both of them are going to have to wake up, or they're going to get knocked out of this tournament. They're in a tough bracket here. Their group is full of powerhouses. You got Arculio, Shamat, Kawabata, Quan. These are good players. Pat Holz. I'll say this. If these 2 guys don't play better, they'll both get knocked out, regardless of who wins this match. He's going to probably try to knock this 2-ball past the 3. See the 3 right there next to it? Just like that. He did okay. Not great. Okay. Shane really doesn't have a pocket he can make the 2 in. But see, Shane's got a whole wall of balls he can hide the cue ball behind. Now this is an easy safety. And you don't hear me say that too often. You knock the 2 up table, you put the cue ball behind this whole wall of balls. 7, 8, 5, 9. If he doesn't make a good safety here, he's got nobody to blame but himself. He can really make it hard on Chang, this rack. I can't see him doing anything else except bringing the cue ball right over behind those balls. Just like that. Well, he did that right.
2 blocky balls.
I think Shane shrugged his shoulder because I don't know if the 2 even goes if he gets a shot at it. It looks like he put the 2 down there on top of the 4, where I'm not sure the 2 can even be made in that corner pocket. He did make a good safety. I'll give him credit for that. It's going to be extremely difficult for Chang to even hit the 2-ball. He's looking at shooting off the end rail down into the 2. I'll tell you, the way these balls are sitting right now, I might want to just give him ball in hand, because the worst thing he could do is go down there and break up that 2-4. Because the way the 2 is sitting right now, Shane can't do anything with it.
So perhaps just dump it in to say the 5 ball. Just tap it.
Just try to tie. You know what a lot of players would do in a situation like that? Tie up these balls down here.
Yeah,
roll the 5 against the 9.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to hit this ball. First of all, it's going to be real hard to hit. And secondly, if he hits it, he might leave Shane a better shot. This is the one aspect of the game that the young Taiwanese players, the strategy is where they're a little bit weak still. So he's going to try and go 2 rails. Watch this. This rail to the right, to the left, and then into the ball. He's better off not hitting it.
As you say, Jay, a critical mistake in a match that he every opportunity to salt away. Why in the world would you do something like that?
Well, it's not a critical mistake because he didn't break them up. The worst thing he could have done there is break those 2 balls up.
But now he's given Shane at least a shot.
Yeah, I don't know about this shot here. This is going to be hard for... See, he's so close to this ball, it's going to be hard for him to roll the cue ball forward. He's looking like he wants to see...
Looks like he's going to try and take it straight down.
Yeah, my feeling is you play safe again. You hide the cue ball behind the 4. Yeah, it's got to be what he's doing. Sure, there you go. You see, there's a rule in 9-ball where if you can make your opponent foul 3 times in a row, you win the game. And Shane has a chance to do that here. Because you see the predicament Chang is in, it's going to be hard for him to hit the 2-ball here. He may have to go 2 rails to try to hit this one. To the right side rail, to the left side rail, just like he did last time. This ball is just as hard to hit.
We saw that in the Asian 9-ball tour on one occasion. A little bit different situation, Jay. In that instance, I can't remember who the 2 players were playing, but you had balls locked up against the rail.
See this? He's trying to go 2 rails to hit this ball. Back and forth across the table again, just like he did last time. He could hit this one. Wow, he went 1 rail and hit it. He went through that little window between the 5 and the 8 and hit it. He left a shot for Shane, though. So Shane won that safety battle. Now let's see if he can do anything with it. He can cut that 2 in the corner. He needs to get shape on the 3 next. We haven't... Shane just hasn't been able to run out of rack, though. He's struggled every time he's got an open rack like this. The key shot is this one right here. I like the way he played that up high through that opening.
He does have a shot at the 3 and the 4 down at the other end. Now, as far as position, to get to that 4, Jay, but is it just a simple follow and
no, he's got to hit this ball. He's got to hit this ball pretty firm. And this is the hard thing about this rack. He's got to go up table for the 4 and come back down table for the 5. He did well there. He did well there. It looks like he's finally beginning to feel the speed of the table. Roll forward like this for the 5. Don't go too far. Don't go too far. It's all right. He'll probably draw the cue ball straight back to the rail where he's standing. And off that rail for the 6. Looks like a straight draw shot for position. Just like that. Now the 7's a little tight against the 8 there. This rack is not over by any means. The tricky part he's got to deal with is the 7 and the 8. He not only has to get good position on the 7, but he's going to probably have to tap the 8 with the cue ball when he makes the 7. So here's the tough shot. You got to not only make the 6, but get just in the right place on the 7. I think he did pretty good here.
2 rails.
He did pretty good. Referee's taking a look to see if the cue ball goes by. Yeah, I like this. He can draw straight back and make the 8 in the same pocket. Perfect position. Perfect position. There you go. There you go.
Shane almost seems alive now, Jay.
Well, he's taking a few breaths anyway.
Yeah. That glazed look that was on his eye as he sat in that table or on that chair seems to have gone. This is a much better played rack.
This is the first well-played rack he's played since the very beginning of the match.
Since his break and run, way back when.
With this 9-ball here, he'll draw within 2 games, 7-5. He's back in the match because he's breaking.
7-5 it is, and young American waking up perhaps just in time, but still on the downside. Chang Yao Mao with a couple of unforced errors the last couple of racks. And we'll see if it's turned around. Right now we see what Shane did. Exquisite stuff there. Perfect location. All right, we'll be back for rack number 13 in just a moment. Don't go away. We've got a match on our hands.